Before this video starts, I just want to say welcome to all the new subscribers. Like, I've been noticing a sudden increase in views and subscribers, and thanks to everyone checking out my content. I hope you keep enjoying these stupid videos I'm making. It feels good, and I hope you enjoy this month's video. Let's get on with it. Do y'all like cartoons? Because I like cartoons. Do y'all like video games based on cartoons? Because I sometimes like video games based on cartoons. When I played through a bunch of Nickelodeon games, they were either absolute garbage clouded by nostalgia, or they were really solid video games that could even be considered underrated. So how does Cartoon Network fare when it comes to this? Well, we all know Cartoon Network has some of the best Western cartoons known to mankind. We got Kids Next Door, Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, Samurai Jack, Powerpuff Girls, and so many more. And while Disney and Nickelodeon fell apart with some of like the cringiest TV shows I've seen in recent date, Cartoon Network added on Adventure Time, Regular Show, Gumball, Clarence. Fucking Clarence, dude. Have y'all watched Clarence? Give that show a chance. Sweet Baby Ray's. That is such a good show.
Museum. Oh. Museum.
But with all the success they found in continuously making good shows, how are the games based on those shows? Well, walk with me as we walk down Nostalgia Street and see if these games are underrated gems or fat poopy dookies. I'm sorry, but making a poop joke, it felt like the smoothest way to transition into the first game, because there were like a bunch of poop jokes in this game. And now that I made the joke, I still don't really know how to like smoothly transition into it. Kids Next Door, Operation Videogame. Now, we all know Kids Next Door was lit. The villains were creative, the plot lines were unique, and there were so many episodes I remember being tied for my favorite. It even ended with a movie that was chef's kiss. Kids Next Door Operation Videogame is a third-person platformer that also mixes like some Ratchet and Clank style shooting sequences, some bullet hell flying levels, some really solid hand-to-hand combat, and some shitty stealth sections. And that's where I think the first real positive thing is for the game. There's a lot of variety in the gameplay. But before we get into that, let's get into the story. So the game opens up with the kids next door trying out a new virtual reality training thing, but the Toiletnator invades the treehouse, and number one is like, whoa, it's so real, and takes him down. It's here where we learn that all the villains have escaped prison and are trying to get their revenge on the KND. So the kids next door go hunting them down one by one, but there's a shadowy figure watching them, and it's number 5 sister, who is working with the delightful children from down the lane, and the father. I don't actually remember their names, and I'm too lazy to look it up, so if I'm getting these names wrong, then I'm sorry, but we gotta learn to just deal with this. Anyway, father and the delightful children are planning something. I'm not really sure what the overall plan is, but who cares? At the end of the day, we got these villains, we're taking them down. That's the overall plot. What really surprised me though is how good the writing is. Like, usually in games like this, I feel like they do a really good job of writing the characters just like they do in the cartoons, and this is a prime example of that. It even got a couple of laughs out of me.
Oh, I love the smell of sewage in the morning!
Man, and I thought number 2 used too much paper. Get it? Number 2 uses too much toilet paper.
Another thing I think the story did a good job doing was giving each villain like their own time to shine. Like, okay, for the first level, we take down the lunch lady, and the level consists of us going through her food store or restaurant or whatever. It's a donut shop. Then taking her down at the end of the level with a boss fight. And I was like, okay, I get it. It's gonna be one of those games where each villain has their own level and a boss fight at the end. Okay, I fuck with it. It's basic, but I fuck with it. Nah, some of the villains actually get a decent amount of levels before you take them down. For example, take Count Spankula, who, by the way, is the only one who really belongs in prison. Like, the lunch lady just wants to make the kids fat. Okay, sure. The dentist guy wants to make sure everyone has good teeth. Sure, whatever. As an adult, I'm like, dude, fuck me up, dude. I need good teeth, please. But Spankula has kids in dark corners being spanked and getting other kids to spank even more kids in dark corners. Nah, send his ass away. I don't like him. But in the game itself, he turns off the electricity to the treehouse and turns everyone except number 4 into spanking vampires. So we play as him and turn everyone back to normal kids. The level after this, we play as number 3 and collect the hamsters required to get the electricity up and running. And in the level after this, we play as number 1 and hunt down Spankula himself while taking down his army of spanking children. Do y'all see why this man is a problem? Anyway, I really do like that each villain gets their own little story arc where they have this whole plan and you gotta kind of like take them down one step at a time. Like, it shows that this game at least had some thought put into it, at least into like the layout of the story and how the levels would progress. It shows I see the effort, I see it. Instead of being like, okay, go through this level and fight the boss at the end, move on to the next villain. Nah, they let the character's personality shine like throughout the story. And on top of the game having good writing, it feels right out of the show, and the graphics, like, they honestly don't look that bad at all. There's a solid video game here. Half that sentence didn't sound correct and I'm too lazy to fix it. You're gonna have to just take what I said and hopefully decipher it English language. The gameplay itself ranges from really, really good to really, really bad. Playing as number 1, 2, and 4 is always a fun time. Number 1 has shooting based levels, like I said, feel Ratchet and Clank inspired, and there's a good dodging mechanic here with upgradable weapons. Number 2's levels always take place in this ship, and I found these to be fucking scary because this is a kids game. So Cartoon Network, what the fuck is this? Like, I died so much during these levels, and at one point I had to be paying attention to every single thing on screen while dodging some bullets, absorbing the others because you have a shield that can absorb certain bullets and fill up a special attack meter that could clear the screen for a bit. It's very satisfying, but it's limited and you gotta pay attention so you don't run out for too long or else you will die, and you gotta dodge the ships that come out from behind you while dodging the ships that shoot lasers that your shield doesn't protect you against. It's a lot. It's a fucking kids game, and it's a lot. Number 4 usually has platform levels with hand-to-hand combat, and these were also a lot of fun. The combat is good and pulling off these combos is satisfying. It's nothing special. Squares your basic punches, triangles your kicks, you roll with circle, and can fill up your special meter for a shitty attack that does extra damage, but I never actually got it to hit anybody. I didn't even bother using it. On the other end, number 3 and 5 have the worst levels, with number 3's being like these slow collectathon levels, and they drag out, like they go on for way too long. And number 5 has combat similar to number 3, except she fights way slower and spends most of her time taking hits, and she's also the only one with a stealth section, and the stealth section's not it. It's not. Why'd you guys even add this? I get the variety attempt here, but it didn't work out. Y'all should have known. Look, overall, I was surprised by this game. I was expecting to hate it. I was like, it's gonna be a good way to start this review video, you know, hating on a game and seeing if the other games can like slowly improve on it. But honestly, we're kind of setting the bar kind of high, honestly, so I'm kind of excited to see what our next game, Powerpuff Girls, has in its box of surprises for me. I'm kind of hyped. Powerpuff Girls, come up on stage. It's your turn on The Price is Right. So, yeah, this game is fucking trash. Now, I know damn well if you grew up with Cartoon Network, you watched this show, and if you had taste, you loved it. Anyways, let's start with the story, as always. Again, we have the original voice actors with some good writing in the cutscenes, even if the characters look like fucking testicles. But the story begins with Mojo and the mayor running against each other to see who will become mayor. Jojo's losing, so he's like, I'm gonna use the gang, so wear this hypnotizer thing that makes people act like monkeys, because then they'll vote for a monkey. Even if they don't look like they can think, whatever. We fly around and do some missions for the mayor, basically rigging the vote in his favor. Yeah, politics. We take down the Green Gang and stop Jojo from winning, where he's like, free pickles. Meanwhile, in space, a giant space pickle hears this message, and they go to Earth to invade and colonize it and turn it into their new home. So now, instead of turning into monkeys, everyone starts turning into pickles. We gotta put a stop to it. So we do basically the same missions, but this time with pickles skinned over the monkeys. The pickles outsmart the mayor and take over the town, and we gotta stop them and save the mayor before he's turning into a pickle. As I'm reading this script that I made, I'm realizing, like, what the fuck am I even saying? But that's the story. At the end, we get into the giant pickle ship and we take these evil deal doers down. They retreat and we get a line that actually made me chuckle.
Am I a pickle yet?
Now you're probably thinking, that's it for the story? Yeah, that's it, because the game is literally like an hour and 30 minutes long. If you were to sit down and play this game on a TV, and like on a TV next to it, you put on the Powerpuff Girls movie, you would finish this game first, and then still have time to watch like the last 10 minutes of the movie. That's how short this game is. And while that is a bad thing, it's also a good thing because the gameplay is some of the worst I've played. I'd rather be playing fucking Fairly Odd Parents. If you saw my Nickelodeon video, y'all know I hated that game more than everything. Why does the script say everything? Whatever, I hate that game. Watch it. It's the link in the description. It's a good video. Worked hard on it. The game is open world, but the city itself is, well, look, to give this game credit, I like the style of the world and the characters. It's not amazing. It's not even really that good. But it does capture the style of the show really well, and while the character animations are shit, the actual character models actually look like the cartoon characters in certain frames. Although, you know the mayor's assistant that never shows her face? Like, for some reason in this game, they just have the fucking balloons going into her face in an attempt to cover her up. And that's hilarious, dude. So instead of running around the city, you fly around the city, and you can control if you fly low towards the ground, in the middle of the air, or like up high in order to avoid traffic, and so on. But it doesn't feel good. I mean, it's cool being able to fly around at high speeds, but since you can't ever actually run around on the ground, flying around gets old really fast, and sometimes the controls are so slippery that you fly by objectives or turn at speeds that are way too fast, which causes you to fail missions. And while we're on that, the missions, oh god, the missions here are so boring. They're the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. And you would think, well, Iggy, my boy, the game is literally 90 minutes long, so it ends before it gets old, right? No, it doesn't. In fact, even though the game is 90 minutes to finish, these are the longest 90 minutes of my fucking life. I remember seeing Infinity War in theaters, which is like double the runtime, and thinking, wow, that went by so fast. It's over already. Meanwhile, this game, it was like, holy shit, why are we still doing things? Why am I still playing? Someone fucking kill me. And one of the main things, in fact, not even one of the main things, literally the main thing the Powerpuff Girls do in the game is beat ass. If you see the cartoon, you know they're fucking merciless when they're beating ass. Teeth get knocked out, brains are exposed, bloody ass faces. The Powerpuff Girls are fucking brutal. So someone explain to me why the combat in this game has to be some of the worst combat I have ever experienced in any fucking video game ever. It's so slow, it doesn't feel good, and you can collect these chemical X jars to perform like powers or even super moves, but the powers are unsatisfying, and when you run out of chemical X, you have to slowly wait for the first jar to autofill while you slowly use it over and over again, and you'll want to wait to use it because actually punching and kicking doesn't feel good, and you take way more damage that way. So you might as well just fucking wait for the jar. Oh god. Going from Kids Next Door to this kind of sucked, especially since like when I was little, I actually loved this game a lot. And I remember just exploring the city for so long, being hypnotized, because I was like, I feel like a Powerpuff Girl, bitch. I wore the cute little shirt, the little skirt. I be tap dancing. I got the tap dancing shoes. I was a Powerpuff Girl, bitch. The next game though is a game I also not only loved as a kid, but I finished it a lot. Like, I would sit down and play through it so much as a child. I even 100%ed it multiple times. And I'm talking about Ed and Eddy The Misedventures, baby. Another game released in 2005. I actually got this game on the day it came out. I was so hyped. Ed, Edd and Eddy was my favorite cartoon growing up, and even now I can go back and watch that shit anytime. I've been watching it on HBO Max. It's on there. Go watch it. And as a kid, I loved this game. Like I said, I played through this game so many times. I even 100% completed it multiple times. Like at one point, I had 3 different save datas on the same memory card. I completed to 100%. That's how much 10-year-old me loved this game. So how does it hold up as an adult? It's not bad. I was actually surprised I wasn't as clouded by nostalgia for this one as I thought I would be. While playing it, I was like, okay, hold up. There are things here I'm not really a fan of, but there's also a lot of parts I actually like. One of the things I noticed this time around was the cutscene animation quality. You guys gotta understand, this is my first time playing this game since I was a child. So I remember these cutscenes looked like they were ripped straight out of the cartoon, and now they look like the Kroger version of Ed, Edd and Eddy. Is Kroger an international brand? Like, are people outside of the valley gonna understand what I mean by that? I don't know. The point is, it's discount animation, and I'm amazed I never noticed. But also, I was a kid, a stupid kid, so it's understandable, I guess. Now I'm a stupid adult, but I can see things. I notice things. The voice actors all come back for the show, and the actual writing itself is ripped out of the show, and it makes for a simple but entertaining story. It feels like an episode from the show. You know, it fits considering the story for the game is basically a bunch of episodes. It's like its own little mini season that you can play through. With that being said, we can't really take a look at the plot for this game considering there's not actually one. There's several little ones, but overall you got the Edds wanting to get Jawbreakers but having to go to the store before they close, and then he finds out he didn't actually eat a Jawbreaker. He ate some like some ball that has foot fungus toe thing. Why is that in the candy store? I don't know, but now you gotta sneak back without getting caught, or being stuck in a haunted house with the Canker sisters, or going through an obstacle course, because why not? Like, these are simple little stories, but they don't gotta be complex. It's fucking Ed and Eddy for the PS2. The gameplay is, well, it ranges from good to bad. You can control all 3 Eds, with each of them having their own abilities to help you solve these little puzzles throughout the levels. And they mostly control the same, like they all have one attack to fight off little enemies like rats or squirrels or more squirrels, because that's pretty much all you fight in this game. But whatever, it's Ed and Eddy for the PS2. Ed and Eddy have a good enough attack that helps keep enemies like away, but Double D has this weird unsatisfying attack with a ruler. It feels like it does no damage. There's like a second delay when he actually like attacks after pushing the button, and he's just not fun to play as. I don't know, I don't hate his character at all, like I love his character, but playing as him in this game just sucks. All the Eds have like a specific special move they can use. Ed can use a battering ram like attack to break down like walls or fences. Eddy can make a tower of Eds that lets them hide behind poles or like reach high objects. And Double D can be thrown to reach higher spots. And again, the controls for this move in specific are clunky as hell and buggy as fuck. Like, aside from that, you're really just running and jumping around. And I mean, it's fine, it's not bad, it's not the best, but look, I finished it, and as a kid I used to finish it a lot, so it must work. I mean, come on, you know, it's Ed and Eddy for the PS2. In between levels, you get to run around the cul-de-sac, and this could have been something cool, you know, interact with the characters, maybe throw in some simple mini games or side quests. I don't know, it's fucking Ed and Eddy for the PS2. But instead, everyone's just kind of there. And for the most part, they don't even acknowledge your existence, which makes it feel empty. On top of that, for some reason, to start the next level, you gotta find it somewhere out in the cul-de-sac, but the game never tells you where it actually is. So you kind of run around looking for a new blue light and hope it's the level you're supposed to be at. At one point I thought I found the next level, but it was like the first level. I just didn't know that because the game doesn't say. It's not game breaking and it doesn't ruin the experience. It's just something I'm pointing out, man. Fucking relax, you can see. Yeah, I'm kind of surprised I don't have more to say about this game. I mean, it's okay. Will I ever play it again? Nah, probably not. But did I have fun while playing it? Yeah, for the most part. I don't know. It's definitely not Powerpuff Girls, but it's also not Jimmy Neutron Attack of the Twonkies. Which, can I just say, fucking intermission real quick? In my Nickelodeon video, I was like, what? I'm never gonna play this game again. Nah, bitch, I was wrong. Ever since that video came out, I have played through that game twice, and even while typing out this script, I'm like, I could really play through that game again. Like, that game is fucking great. It is so much fun, and it's short enough that you can just play it randomly. I just wish we could choose levels, so I didn't have to play through the first 2 levels every fucking time, because collecting Twonkies and exploring the town of Retroville is so good. I don't know when this turned into a Jimmy Neutron video. Let's just move on to the next game.
Scooby Doo, where are you?
Scooby Doo Night of 100 Frights came out in 2002 when I was just 7 years old, bruh. That's crazy shit. I remember I used to play this game all the time, and when I first had it, we didn't have a memory card, which meant every time I wanted to play it, I had to start from the beginning. And oh boy, I got so good at this game, I ended up beating it in one 7-hour session, and being like, hell yeah. Then I sat there, turned the game off, and I did it all again the next day. The summer of 2003. Scooby and the gang are called by Daphne's close friend Holly to investigate strange goings-ons after the disappearance of her uncle. The group is separated, and Scooby, i.e. you, the player, must explore the mansion and its surrounding areas to find the gang and solve the mystery. After fighting iconic bosses from the show, you discover that the missing professor is actually the mastermind behind everything. But wait, none of the clues make any sense until, Holly is actually a hologram, and she's the mastermind, and is framing her uncle in an attempt to take credit for her uncle's many inventions and make money off it? Bitch, you live in a big-ass mansion. Why you need all this extra money? The plot itself is super thin. Nothing really happens besides, look at this boss. We took the boss down, new member added, until the very end where you solve the mystery, which is why I just covered the plot in like 3 sentences, because nothing really happens outside of a typical Scooby-Doo episode. The gameplay is a typical 3D platformer nonsense type of thing. You got running, you got jumping, you collect Scooby snacks, which lets you open new areas. You can collect villain tokens, which let you look at the villain models in this one room, but I don't have footage of that because I actually didn't even bother with this, but it is there if you care. The game controls fine. Scooby has a walk, and you get an extra button that lets you run. Oh, did I say this was a typical platformer? Well, it's not. It's actually a fucking Metroidvania style platformer. What does that mean, you ask? Look it up, you fucking dweeb. So, the game is mostly non-linear. You can pretty much explore any area from the start, and there are these inventions you can find and collect, which gives you new inventions you find, you collect, they give you new abilities, you get to go into new areas and do further exploration. One of the things I actually like in this game is how little hand holding it does. You got these clues scattered around and they'll usually tell you what's ahead, but overall once you find a power up, there's no indication of where you can use that power up. It's up to you to go back and find out where you can go now and see where the road leads. I remember this confusing me pretty bad as a kid, which is why it took me 7 hours, because in reality the game's only like 3 hours long, but I was doing exploring. I was like, where the fuck these boots go? Huh? Why do I need this lampshade? Plot twist, this lampshade upgrade, fucking useless. I don't even know what it does now as an adult. The one part where I think this game kind of falls apart is in its Scooby snack progression system. You see, when you want to explore a new area, you need to get past this thing here, and in order to do that, you got to pay a Scooby snack toll. At first, you'll have tons of Scooby snacks, and we'll get through these with no problem. But before you know it, it matches current gas prices, and you'll be like, 600 Scooby snacks? Where the fuck am I gonna get 600 Scooby snacks? But before you know it, you're going back to all these previous areas trying to find Scooby snacks. But the economy crazy out here in this fucking haunted mansion, and there ain't no Whole Foods around here, so you're stuck being bored and annoying. Why does my script say that? And there ain't no Whole Foods around here. Whole Foods? Why the fuck did I reference Whole Foods in my script? What joke was I even trying to make? The point is, I didn't finish this game. Yes, I finished it as a kid, and I played it so much you would think I'd be able to speed run. But no, I couldn't. I spent half an hour scouring previous areas and hoping to find just one more fucking Scooby snack. But the prices, adjusted for inflation, I couldn't do it anymore. I sat there quietly staring at my TV and thought to myself, I have enough footage. Billy and Mandy. Who the fuck doesn't love this show? It's got comedy, boogers, farts, titties, and ass. So the game's story is that someone opened Grimm's chest and let loose all his mojo, and we gotta follow a trail of feathers that lead us to different battle arenas where people are being infected with the mojo and becoming crazy fighting mojo having madness peoples. In the end, we find out it was Billy who opened it because he wanted to.
I wanted to free Mo and Joe! Be free, Mo! Be free, Joe!
And the end. What? That's it? That's the story? Yeah, because the story mode for this game takes half an hour. And you should, And usually I'd be like, what the fuck is this? I might as well have watched Billy and Mandy AMVs on YouTube.
Just jumped off the porch. Now I need a Porsche. Hey, I like fast cars, bitch. I like NASCAR. Hey.
Gameplay wise is basic. You got your normal punch, your strong punch, grabs, weapons, and power-ups that you can pick up that all have a unique effect. There's hazards out in the arenas you can use to your advantage. You can collect Grimm's Mojo balls and fill up your Mojo Jojo meter, which lets you perform an instant kill combo on a character of your choice. Or you can fill up your Mucho Macho Mojo Jojo meter twice, which lets you perform a super Mucho Macho Mojo Jojo attack that kills every single character, but you gotta kill the characters more than once since everyone has a certain amount of lives, and when you kill them 3 times, they're out of there. Bada bing bada boom, you're officially the Mojo Jojo Mucho Macho Man. But wait, con now, and we'll give you mission mode, where there are 45 missions available that slowly increase in difficulty. But Iggy, I don't want to fight 45 fucking fights at one time. Sit down, you stupid bitch. They're not all fights. Call right now, you fucking asshole, and we'll give you variety. You see, each mission has its own objective. Maybe it's a fight where it's every man for himself. Maybe it's a 2-on-2. Maybe it's 3 people on one team against your lonely ass, you lonely On top of these fights, there's also missions where you beat the coins out of each other, and whoever has the most coins when the time runs out wins. There's this mode where you gotta make sure the flags are all your color so you can get more points than everyone else. There's this other mode where you gotta fight for this eyeball thing and get it into the color swirl thing to get the point. There's another mode where you lose a point when you're knocked out, and you get a point when you knock someone out. And this is just scratching the tip of the dick. Like, we haven't even gotten to the dick cheese yet. This game got so much going on, and the music is ripped from the show, and the music in the show is lit, and this game is lit. Fuck, all good things. Billy and Mandy for the PS2 and other consoles, probably, I don't know, I played it on the PS2, is the best Cartoon Network game, and I love it, and I recommend it, or maybe I don't, because maybe someone who likes fighting games won't like it, because of how simple it is, but I like simple, okay? Not everything has to be this complex combo button pressing shenanigans. Sometimes I just need a simple little quick time event with a frying pan. Thank you guys for watching this mess of a video. I really appreciate all the support I've been getting. Super fucking cool, super appreciative. It makes me feel really good. Hit like and subscribe if you enjoyed and you want more. Yeah, hit that subscribe button, you know? If not, hit subscribe. You made it this far into the video, so obviously I did something right, I hope. So you better fucking subscribe, you fucking asshole. Nah, I'm kidding. Yeah, you thought I was gonna, so I would never.